Okay, good afternoon. This is Doll Maker's Delight coming to you with a quick video. Several people had asked me about how to attach the head on the Swaddle Babies, these little dollies here. So what I'm going to do is just do a quick little overview of how to do that and where I find some of my materials, because that's been another question I've been asked. As far as my joints, the doll joints, I usually get those at Amazon because they do have a mixed bag of mixed sizes, from the 35 millimeter, I think, to 55 millimeter. I forgot the cost. I also get them at C&R Crafts, and they'll mail them, and they have a good price. Theirs you do put together a little bit differently, but that's one source I use. Also, on this particular one, I am putting a magnetic passy, so I do use the magnets. And again, I get my magnets at Amazon. You get like a thing of 100 for like $5 or $6. They're not expensive, and they do come in sizes. For my regular sizes, I use whatever this is. It's like maybe a ½ inch, 3/8 of an inch, and then they come itty bitty as well. So for some of the small ones, I use these, and these are about 1/4 of an inch. And I do put those on real passies. Put them there. Put that over top of it to cover it. And also on the little ones that you can make. As far as fabric sources, I get my fabric all over the place. I get it from Wear Fabrics a lot. Also, I get it from, a lot of people comment on the colors I use. A lot of times I get my fabric from fabrics.com. And you can see this is one of the colors here from fabric.com. This color is called, I don't know. Has all code names. I don't know what color that is. And then that color brown there. And they're reasonable, $7 to $10 a yard. But also another great source I find is at Walmart when they have these bundles of fabric. You just have to look through them. Like this was 3 yards for $6. And it's a very nice weight knit. Very similar to some that I have paid to the scuba fabric that I pay $11 on sale at Joann Fabrics. And they do have all colors. This is another piece from Walmart. That particular one is heavy enough that I do not line. When I use this brown here, you get 2 yards for $2, $1 a yard. And I do line this, I underline this. And it turns out great. And another source, believe it or not, I'm a Dollar Tree kind of girl. Like this t-shirt here. This makes beautiful dolls as well. It's a beautiful color brown, and it costs $1. And for the Swaddle Babies, depending on the size, I can get about at least 3 or 4 dolls out of this, depending on the size. That's one t-shirt. So that's my fabric sources. And while we are talking about the Dollar Tree, for fake fur, these are the little pillows they have. It's a nice fur. You get 1 pillow for $1. I cut the back off, and I have a wig. This will make, for the 5x7 dolls, this will make 1 wig, and you'll have enough for a little 4x4. This right here is a pencil, was on the top of a pencil from the Dollar Tree. Nice piece of fur, it's $1. And for the little dolls, it works great. My other source that I get fur from, this is some long-haired fur I buy from someone on Etsy, and I think it's called Skyknitsforbabies. I'll be sure to put a link down below of all these sources, but she sells like little pieces. Like you can buy a 10 by 20 piece for $7, and that makes quite a few wigs. She has 10 by 10 pieces for as low as $3.50. So those are some of my sources. Now let's get started on the actual tutorial. This is just some of the dolls that I've made that's in the background. Actually, this fabric here also came from Walmart. I didn't have to line it or anything. This is my own body, but this is one of the Planet Applique faces. Okay, so let's get started. So I've already embroidered my face. This is on the wrong side. I lined it with this inexpensive white. This is where the pacifier will be. I've already attached my magnet. The little opening is in the top. I turn it to the right side. And you know, you embroidered that little hole right here. Well, you embroidered a circle that you cut. And that goes on the back of the head. Then on the body itself, you have the same little thing there. So to start it off, you take the piece of the doll joint that has the little thingy sticking out, whatever you want to call this little thingy here. Insert that down into there. And bring it out of here. Okay, once I have that all inserted in. Then you take your body, find your opening in your body, and this fabric here actually came from Walmart as well. It's a nice knit, but I did line it because I didn't want it to stretch too much. You find your hole here. This is the front of the body and the back of the head, and you just push this down till it comes out. So now it looks like this. This is the inside of the doll. Each one of the doll joints come with 3 parts. The part with the little nail sticking out or whatever you want to call it, as well as a washer. You just push the washer down tight. Then you take this part here. And I particularly like these ones that came from Amazon because now I push this down. And you just keep pushing it down. And then when you hear that snap, that means it's in place. It's not going to go. See how tight that is in there? Tight that is. So now you turn your doll back to the right side. And you can see that's when they're tight now. Now you're ready to start to stuff it. I like to leave my hole as small as possible because I don't want to have to do as much hand stitching. So I would just take little pieces. And that's another clue. A lot of people try to stuff a whole bunch of polyfill in at a time, but take smaller pieces and just stuff until your head is full. And what I like to do, I'll sit down and sew a whole bunch of heads, embroider a lot of heads and a lot of bodies, and then I sit down and I have me a stuffing party. So you just continue to stuff till this is tight. And I like to kind of like, okay, when I'm stuffing, see how I'm really pushing it down. See that little wrinkle in there? So I keep pushing that till I really get that smooth. And you just keep stuffing till you get the whole head stuffed. Okay. And once you have the whole thing stuffed, this of course it needs some more, but you know, you would keep stuffing. Then you would do a ladder stitch to close this up here. I'm trying to keep this video right under 10 minutes, so but basically I wanted to demonstrate on how to do the joint. And then you can see that's the pacifier, one kind, or the little handmade ones. One clue is when you're making your pacifiers, once you put your magnet inside of the doll's head, take the other half of the magnet and stick to the first magnet that's inside, because you want to have a negative is not going to stick or whatever. So that way you know you're stitching it the right way. Then you would stitch the body up. Once you get the body all stitched, then you would make your wigs. Wigs are 2 parts. Excuse me for stepping in front of the camera for a minute, but here's basically the same doll finished up here. She do have excuse her raggedy hair, and this need to be combed. And each one of them I make a little thing. So thank you for joining us. If you don't already, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And thanks for joining. Bye-bye.